All right, to welcome out to another episode of the Pirates Cove podcast. This will be episode number 87. We're getting up there to the 100. Episode number 87. It's Wednesday evening. My name is Gabriel Trevino, and of course, we're going to continue now every Wednesday evening. Sometimes it could be in the afternoon, but we'll talk Rockport-Fulton Pirate sports, right? And we're in the basketball season, so the podcast here for the next couple of weeks or so will consist of our basketball programs, and then, of course, our soccer season is starting. So we'll be covering our soccer programs as well. So we'll be talking boys and girls basketball and boys and girls soccer. Now, I still need to get with I haven't had time, but I will figure out what's going on with powerlifting because we definitely want to cover that as well. We're going to cover as many sports as we can and come on and talk about how the programs are doing, right? Like we had before. We've had interviews with Coach Bates and Coach Evans from basketball. We've had an interview with Coach Elkins from the boys soccer program. And when they resume back next week to school, we'll send an email for the girls coach to come on and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing with the girls, kind of find out the type of season and see what kind of expectations the coach got to talk about the roster and the district and so forth. So definitely looking forward to bringing in the soccer coach to come in and definitely talk girls soccer. So it'll be a short podcast. I don't got a lot this week. I'm mainly going to focus on our varsity. Next Wednesday, when I come back, we'll continue to update what the varsity groups are doing, tournaments, games that they played, and then we'll talk junior varsity and freshman as well for all of these clubs. I know soccer just has junior varsity, but for basketball, we'll do JV and we'll do the freshman next week. So this tonight is just about varsity, and so I just kind of want to start off here and talk a little bit about our boys basketball team. And so, like I said, we've had Coach Bates on a couple of weeks ago, not too long ago, and we talked basketball with Coach. And like I told them, the expectations are high for the basketball boys this year. They went to the first round of the playoffs last year. They went up against a ranked team, and they lost in the first round. They were in a tough district with Miller and West Oso last year, and they placed third. So this year they lost one senior. So everybody was coming back from that playoff team. So expectations are high, obviously, for the Pirates. And they're off to a great start. I can tell you that they're currently 18-6. They're 1-0 in district play. They played last night here in Rockport against West Oso. And they got the big win over the Bears last night, 57-42. So it's a great start. The non-district, the tournaments have been very competitive. And like I said, expectations are high for the team, right? So going 1-0 in district, I know it's got to make Coach Bates. He's got to be feeling good. West Oso is one of those teams that is tough to beat. They're good every year. So getting that win under your belt, because we'll have to meet this team again next time, the second go around in West Oso. You want to get that win under your belt. So it was a great win last night for the Pirates. I got some stats from that game. Patrick Lee scored 6 points. Carter Engel had 9 points. Roman Cox had 10 points. Logan Blankenship, 21 points. Logan hit 5 3-pointers in last night's game. And then Ace Seibert hit 3 points, and Matthew Vasquez had 6 for the Pirates in that big win over the Bears. And I talked a little bit about having Coach Bates on when he was on the podcast. And by the way, you can just go out to our Pirates Cove Facebook and Twitter page and just kind of stroll down, and you'll see the interview with Coach Bates if you haven't seen it already. And you can kind of hear some of the stuff that he talked about. He talked about his roster, about the boys coming back. They've got a lot of experience. They got some big boys now in the middle. I mean, Matthew was there last year, but then you add Noah Jones, you add Ace Seibert to the mix. Patrick Lee. They got some big boys there. Then they got the shooters with Logan and Carter and Roman, and so they've really got everything that you would need to win district and make a deep playoff run. So it's really exciting. So he talked a little bit about the guys, talked about his assistant coaches. They've added a new guy there that Coach Bates is really thrilled to have, that really helps out the program. And so he's got what he needs as far as his assistants. He talked a little bit about the injuries that happened last year and what he's dealt with so far early on this year. And he's talked a little bit about what it's gonna take. They definitely want to win the district, and then he kind of gave a pathway if they win district. Pretty much what kind of teams that they might play, and then they could probably be content, get trying to play for the regional championship. So there is a pathway there, and Rockport definitely has the talent to get there. Of course, you got to work hard every day. You got to be improving and practicing in the games. And like I said, the Pirates are definitely off to a great start. I mean, there are some injuries. I did see that Roman Cox came back for this game. He scored 10 points. He's important to this team. A young guy, just a sophomore, but just has that IQ, high IQ for basketball. Was glad to have Roman back. We need to keep him healthy to make this run. Then the other injury was to Chance Bates, the senior, who's been on the team since he was a freshman. So this would be his fourth year. So when I talked to Coach Bates, they're hoping they got some good news. So hopefully we'll see Chance here in a couple of weeks back on the court for the second go around. Still praying that happens and there's no more injuries. But once that happens and he gets back and rolling and Rockport gets at full strength, you heard Coach say it could be nasty for some teams because he'll have the height, the rebound, the shooting, the defensive specialist that he needs. So, trying to get everybody healthy is key right now. And so hopefully Chance will be back here in a couple of weeks and we'll get him back. And it's really glad that I was able that Roman's back also playing. So as we get into district, being healthy is definitely important. So we got the win over the Westoso Bears last night. The boys, they also played in they host the Coach K Classic here in Rockport, and the boys didn't win the championship. They did great. They win, I believe, 3-1 in the tournament, and so it's great to see them competing. They won their I think the first two games. They came back the next game. Not sure the team that they lost to. I didn't write it down on my notes. I just noticed that, but I believe they went 3-1. They've also played in the San Diego tournament. There were 3 tournaments that they played in this year, and they played also in the San Diego tournament, and they did really well there. They also went 4-1, and then early on they also played in the CCISD tournament, and there I think they went like 3-2 or something like that. So they've really performed very well in the 3 tournaments. The different teams that they played some bigger schools, they played some really good small schools. So I think Coach Bates is just trying to get his team are ready to play all types. I mean, when you play in these tournaments and you put your non-district schedule together, it's all about getting ready for the playoffs and some of the tougher teams you might play in district. So they've gotten a mix of a lot, and you got to say with what they've done in these tournaments, they fared well in all 3 of these tournaments. So that's great to see. So their next game obviously will be Friday. They'll be traveling. It'll be Friday, January 6th at 7:30 p.m. They'll be playing at Beeville against the Trojans. So it'll be another hard test for the Trojans. Beeville got a win also on Tuesday. I believe they beat Sinton. I didn't write the score down, but I know they beat them, I think, by 10 or more points, if I'm correct. So Beeville has an overall record of 10-7, and they're 2-0 in district. So they're also undefeated in district. So it'll be a tough game for the Pirates. Beeville defeated, Sinton. Here it is. I got the score here, 72-62, and then they defeated Orange Grove 75-54. So Beeville will come into Friday's game at Beeville undefeated in district play early on. Rockport's also coming in undefeated. So it'll be a good game. And, with all the experience, you got to play the game right. And so Beeville, I think, will be tough, but Rockport will come out and play. and hopefully we'll come home with the win, go 2-0. It's really important to get off and try to win that district title, because that pathway in the playoffs becomes a little bit easier. And you need that, especially if there's some injuries that you're dealing with. It may give you an extra week to be able to try to get healthy as possible when you get into that third round. Because once you get into that second but third round and on, it gets tough. And so I really do believe that Rockport has the team. Some of these guys have been with Coach Bates now, the seniors, for 4 years. They understand the system. We got some young guys that can shoot the ball. We got some guys that you heard Coach Bates say that they're they just their defense. That's all they do, and he's got some guys that takes their best player and go 1-on-1. So Rockport definitely has the tools to win the district title this year and make a deep playoff run. So anytime you get an opportunity to come down, and you can see it on the Pirates Cove, and I'll post up as much as I can where the games will be. But definitely when you get an opportunity, if you can get to the road, if they're playing on the road and you can get out to the place where they're playing and cheer them on, please do that. If you can, at least pack the place up here at home, show these boys some love, right? Because I think they've got something special going this year. It's been 3 years for some of these guys, 4 years. They've been working towards this, and I kind of read up on and follow them, and they could definitely have a special year this year. So the more support they can get, go out there and make some noise, right? At our place, I'm sure it just pumps these guys up to play even harder than when they were going to play. So when you get the opportunity, definitely go out and you can catch on the Pirates Cove Facebook and Twitter page, and I'll put up time, location, and where they're going to be playing. So definitely go out there. I'm going to try. I've got some games scheduled that I can go up and live stream the game on the Pirates Cove. I won't be able to do all of the games, but I can do some of the games. So when I hit some of those games that I can do, I'll definitely post it up so you'll know, and all you gotta do is just go up to the Facebook page, the Pirates Cove Facebook page, and wait for me to go live, and then you can catch the game live there. And of course, I commentate the game, so I'll be able to do some of those games for our basketball team, and I'll let you know which games I'll be able to do that. As we get in the district, I'm going to do as many as I can. Just follow me on the Pirates Cove Facebook page, and you'll be able to see. I'll post up when I'll be at the game, and then you can just wait and catch the game live on the Pirates Cove Facebook page. So again, a great win for the Pirates, 1-0 in district play, big win over the West Oso Bears, but they will have a tough game coming up Friday against Beeville. If you saw that last year, Rockport won both games against Beeville, but they were kind of close. Beeville kind of hung in there close for Rockport. So I anticipate that the game in Beeville will be another close one, but just hope that Rockport can pull that out, get the win, and continue to kind of just keep on winning and win that district title. But Friday will definitely be another tough opponent for the Rockport-Fulton Pirates. Good luck to Coach Bates on Friday. With that, I'll also now go over to the Rockport-Fulton Our Lady Pirates. And, I also had Coach Evans on the podcast. Talked to her a little bit about, the season, the district and stuff. And this year, we've had 2 great years where we've won district one year and we were second place, and we've made some deep playoff runs. This year's a little different. It's a little bit more challenging. You heard Coach Evans talk about the challenge that she was facing, but she was also very excited because of the youth, the young girls that she had. A lot of sophomores on varsity, a freshman. So when you play young people, you graduate a lot of seniors. You go through some of course challenging times, right? And Rockport has had a challenge this year, and right now the girls currently sit at 7-16, and they've 0-3 in district. But Coach Evans, when she talked about wanting to, as we got in deeper into the season, that she would hope that just kind of trusting the process, right, that you would see some wins. Now, some of these teams that they played have been tough for Rockport, and you've seen a blowout if you've gone to the games, but they have also been very competitive in a lot of these games where you probably there might be 4 wins in the win column where you lose in overtime, you lose by a point, you lose by 3 points. So Rockport has lost the Lady Pirates some really close games, but it's come down to the end of the wire. It has been a 4-point loss, a 1-point loss in overtime. So you're seeing these girls be competitive. It hasn't gone our way yet, but they're very competitive, and so they will be facing a really tough team on Friday. They'll be traveling to Beeville. They'll be playing at, I believe, 6:15 p.m. This is probably the toughest team in the district. Last year, it was a battle, both games between Rockport and Beeville. This year, Beeville brings some of those players back. And so, when I talked to Coach Evans, she felt that Beeville would be the team to have to beat in the district. So it'll be a tough challenge for the girls on Friday. But as we get into the first round and you finish the first round and get in to that second round, Coach Evans thought that, her girls could make some noise there and possibly, be contending for one of those playoff spots. So, there's still a lot of basketball left. And when you get an opportunity, you can see the girls and the boys. Girls play pretty much a game before the boys. So when you go to these games, right, you get to see the varsity girls, I believe, and then you also get to see the boys. So you get a lot to see. There's still a lot of basketball left. I'll continue to post up for our boys and girls what they're doing. Win or lose, I posted up there, and I have seen the schedule. I haven't had an opportunity to see neither one, the boys or the girls, but I do plan to change that. But like I said, the girls have been very competitive. They've lost some really close games. And so as we continue to play other teams in the district, we'll see how the girls fare the first round. And then in that second go around, some of these teams that we were competitive, we may hopefully be able to get the win. And like Coach said, you let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully we can make some noise and we'll be contending for one of those playoff spots. But either way, a very young team. And when you have a young team like that, one of the things you can say is, yeah, the future, definitely, you got to get excited about the future because you do go through some growing pains, but it pays off when you play a lot of sophomores and freshmen. So we'll see what happens, but we're still in this year, this season, and by no means is it over. And the girls are definitely going to be trying to fight for one of those playoff spots. So when you get an opportunity, come on out and also cheer our girls and boys. You can catch both of them. They play at the same place. Girls play like at 6:15. The boys play at 7:30. Not sure exactly how it goes because I have not gone to a game, so I don't know if they play in different gyms or what. But I know that they travel together, I believe. So definitely go out, especially here at home. Go out there and cheer our basketball programs on. I know that the kids would appreciate it, and of course, Coach Evans and Coach Bates definitely would appreciate it as well. And like I said, next week when we come back, we'll definitely be giving updates on our varsity squads. But then next week, I'll also be talking about our freshman and JV basketball team, boys and girls, and then our JV soccer team as well. Want to get in to see what they're doing because they're the future of the Pirates, right? So we want to let the community know what we're doing at that level and some of the maybe talent that we got to look forward to in the next couple of years. So definitely be looking out for that next Wednesday. Definitely be talking about our freshman and junior varsity basketball teams and our JV soccer teams as well. And now we'll switch it over to our soccer programs, and I'll start off with the boys. And I've had Coach Elkins on during the holidays. He was able to come on, and we were able to talk a little bit of Rockport-Fulton soccer boys, right? And I followed some of their games last year. I had Coach Elkins on last year as well. And it was a pretty young squad as well. The boys won district. Some of the games that I saw were really good. They were able to make it to the second round of the playoffs, and they lost. But again, he lost a couple of seniors, but the majority of that team was coming back this year. So like the boys, high expectations, I believe, for our soccer boys as well, looking to, win that district title again and make a deeper playoff than just the second round. And talking to Coach Elkins, I asked him about Cristobal De Leon because that's the one guy that I saw and I heard. And somebody had told me that he had scored like 50 some points, and Coach Elkins confirmed that his sophomore year he scored like 53 goals out of 100 and something. So I was just like, wow. So, they've got a lot of young talent. Cristobal's a junior this year. They got Jonathan Ledesma, and he talked a little bit about other guys up in the front that he felt, he had what they needed to be able to score goals, multiple goals during the games. And so he's really content with the offense part, but he really bragged a lot about the defense. When you talk about the Pirates, he talked about, Alex Callejon, Brody Carl. He talked about Austin Busack. He felt that this defense was really good, and I think he said something like, it might be the best defense he's ever had since he's been in Rockport, which is a big statement, But he really loved the defense. He said that's what he could. I mean, these guys can just play with anybody and shut it down. And of course, if you're going to win ball games, you got to score goals, right? But if your defense is really good and solid against these teams, then you can win games 1-0. And he felt that, this defense is that good. And so he talked a lot about that. And so we're definitely going to be paying attention to our defense, our offense. And I think this team's going to do something special again this year. Although Coach Elkins talked about the defense has changed a little bit. He felt that, not the defense, he felt that the district had changed a little bit. And he felt that the district is going to be very competitive this year with Alice, Cal Allen, Beeville, London, just a few in the district that he felt it was going to be very competitive. So no, and by no means is this going to be an easy ride to repeat as district champs. But on the flip side, we're going to see some really good games, right? And I think when you talk about London and you talk about Alice and you talk about Beeville and Cal Allen and these teams, you got to bring your A game. And I think when he talks about the defense, having that great defense that Rockport has, we need that to be able to stop some of these great programs. And he talked about the programs, and these teams are really legit and they're good. So looking into the district season when it comes up, right, it's going to be very, very competitive. So it's cold out there, I know, but definitely go out there, support our soccer programs. I think it's going to be a great year for our soccer boys. They got an opportunity to do something special this year, repeat as district champs, and hopefully get past the second round of the playoffs. But it will be tough. It'll be a challenge with some of the teams that they're going to face in district. It's going to be a back and forth battle, man. And you definitely want to be there to cheer the Pirates on and watch a great soccer game. And hopefully we come out on top. I said on the podcast with Coach Elkins, I love to see the Pirates win 8-0, 9-0, 7-2 every time. But also, just as a fan, right? I mean, if you're very competitive and it's a back and forth or it's a 0-0, man, those are exciting games. So come on out, support the Rockport-Fulton Pirate Soccer Program, the boys and the girls. I think the boys are going to do something special this year. A lot of talent on that team, a lot of boys that can really play soccer, but also looking at our defense. Coach Elkins bragged a lot about his defense. And he felt that those were some special guys back there, and they could probably play toe to toe with anybody and shut some good teams down. So come on out when you get an opportunity, especially at home at Pirate Stadium. Come watch some good soccer. I can almost guarantee you, I watched some games last year. There are a lot of talent on this Pirate Boy team. And coming out, I'm sure the boys would appreciate all the support that they can get. All right. And then, of course, we'll now talk about the Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates soccer team. And I really haven't had a chance to send out, excuse me, a message to the coach um, before the holidays. But as soon as they come back next week, I'll definitely be sending out an invite to our Lady Pirates soccer coach and hopefully get the coach on and talk a little bit of girls soccer. You know, the girls also had a great season. A lot of talent too on that girls team. We've been legit. We've been good for some time now. Last year, made it to the playoffs. Also, lost in the first round. Lost some seniors last year that I think definitely going to hurt the team. And when you lose some of those seniors, you try to replace them. But there's still a lot of talent left on this team. and we'll see where we end up. The girls have already played one game this year. They played they played versus Needville. Needville is always a really good team. Those teams up there are really they're good. We took the loss 6-1. It was the first game of the season. So we'll continue to talk about these girls, watch them, and see how they fare in the non-district, and then we'll talk with coach. Hopefully, we can get them on and see what the district's going to look like. See what kind of tournaments. I know that they got. I think starting tomorrow they're going to host the Toast of the Coast tournament. I think it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here at Pirate Stadium. So if you get an opportunity, and the weather has been really good. I'm not sure what it will be like for tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, but the weather's good. Come on out. You can watch some really good soccer here in Rockport. Come out and support your Lady Pirates, and also see some other good teams. Not sure all of the teams that are going to be participating in this tournament, but definitely starts tomorrow. I'll try to find out the schedule and post it up on the Pirates Code tomorrow morning, see where Rockport's going to play. But definitely, they'll be hosting a 3-day tournament here, Toast of the Coast tournament, I believe is what it's called. And so come on out and watch some good soccer if you get an opportunity all day, and definitely be cheering out our Lady Pirates as they host this tournament. So it's definitely going to be another tough games for our girls. But like I said, lost a couple of seniors last year, but there's still a lot of talent left with these girls. And so same way with the boys, come on now, definitely support our soccer programs. And I will definitely send out an email to the coach when they get back to school next week, and hopefully we'll be having him on or her. Not really sure who the coach is. I've heard a couple of things, but I don't know if it's still the same coach. I've heard that it's a new coach. I'm not really sure, but I'll definitely find out next week and send out the email, and hopefully I can get the coach to say yes and bring the coach on and talk about our soccer girls for the 2022-2023 season. So again, they will be hosting the Toast of the Coast tournament, and that starts tomorrow here in Rockport. The boys soccer team, they have a game on Friday. And let me see. They will be playing at Beeville, I believe. Let me see here. No, I'm sorry, it's not BB. That's basketball. It's a Friday, January 6th, 2023. It's at 6 p.m. They'll be playing in GP. They'll be playing against the GP Wildcats in Gregory, Portland. That is on Friday. So the boys play Friday in Gregory, Portland against GP. The girls will have the Toast of the Coast tournament here in Rockport, and that starts tomorrow. So definitely going to be talking. Like I said, every Wednesday you will be coming up on the Pirates Cove. We will be live streaming some of the soccer games, some of the basketball games, and of course, when we get into softball and baseball, we will be live streaming as many games as we can. So there are a little bit of changes that are being made. That there are some other people that are entering the team, so it's taking some time, to kind of get everything together and working with schedules. So I don't want to overload anything. I'm gonna kind of want to ease back in. I mean, the goal is to be able to live stream all of the games, but I think we started a little fast, not seeing everything that we need to do. So I've kind of slowed it down a little bit, and we'll ease into the games and see. We want to make sure that we get there early enough. We don't want to get there 5 minutes before and try to set up, and we want to get there early. We want to make sure that the internet, everything works. There's a lot of things that you have to do to prepare. So I want to ease into it and get a couple of games in, and we'll be able to do that with our soccer and our basketball, and then coming into softball and baseball. But the goal is to kind of see what we need to work on, and then continue, do a couple of games here, then add some more. But the goal is to be able to live stream all of the games, get interviews with the coaches. So we'll start doing that again and sliding in. It'll be a little slower this time around, but it's because we want to be able to make sure that we're getting everything right and we're able to get there. And what we say we're going to do, we're going to do. So it's got to be a little slower, but eventually we're going to get there. But the Pirates Cove podcast will continue every Wednesday, and it will consist of coming in here, talking about the programs. Also this year, be getting in and talking about our younger programs, our JV and our freshmen, our middle school. We want to be able to also shine some light at that level, and get the community excited about, what's coming up in the future. There's a lot of talent in that middle school as it is on our JV and freshmen. So that's what the Pirates Code consists of. It's just trying to shine light on all of our programs. It's the Pirates Code, but we talk about Rockport-Fulton Pirates sports. And when you do that, you're talking about Rockport-Fulton Pirates sports. So we're going to be doing that every Wednesday. Some of it will consist at times of bringing in coaches and players that want to come on. So, I'll get with the coaches, and if they know that there are players that want to come on and talk about the program, we'll fill them in, we'll put them in on the schedule, we'll bring them in, and we'll have questions. So it'll consist of the same thing that we were doing prior, but definitely focusing on not only our varsity groups, but our JV freshmen and our middle school as well. So again, next week, we'll talk about basketball and soccer, but we'll also focus on our junior varsity freshman teams next week. So tune into that. But that's basically all I had today, this evening, and just wanted to come on and share a little bit of what was going on here. Some of the games that are coming up as we get back into a school from the holiday break next week. And just still definitely looking to invite Coach Bates and Coach Evans back on the Pirates Cove here in a couple of weeks as we get into the second round of district to kind of just get an idea of, what they're doing. And then the same thing with Coach Elkins and the coach for the girls, bringing them in again, maybe once or twice before the season ends. And then it's kind of like getting them into district. And then if they make the playoffs, definitely want to talk to them about the playoffs. And that'll also consist of bringing some guys on as well, some of the players that want to come on and shine some light. We want to show exposure, expose some of our kids, some of these kids that are doing really good, breaking records. We've always had kids that break records, right? So if you break a record, we definitely want to be able to bring them on and share that with the community of Rockport and others around the area. So definitely looking forward to doing that. So we'll be back on every Wednesday. And that's just me. And you might see a couple of guests that come on from time to time with me. But the goal is to bring other people on the Pirates Cove with me as we change sports. So we got our football crew already for the Pirates Cove, and those guys are set and they're getting ready for next year. But we also got to set up a crew for basketball and baseball and softball and stuff. Just makes it that much better. So slowly but surely we'll get there. So again, definitely Pirates Cove, talking Rockport-Fulton Pirates sports this evening. We were talking about the boys and girls basketball and our boys and girls soccer. We'll continue to do that for the next month. And then once we get into softball and once we get into baseball, we'll definitely be also focusing on their season as well. And hopefully we'll be able to invite Coach Reyes and Coach Elizondo onto the podcast to also talk about the season. They've been very successful the last couple of years in softball and baseball. So we're definitely looking forward to this year as well for both baseball and softball. So once again, thank you. I didn't go live. I'm recording it, uploading, because I'm going to be coming on a lot. And I don't want to be going live every time I come on. I'm probably going to be coming on every day for short podcasts. And so I'll just record it, upload it the same night or the next day, and you guys can see it, but I'll upload it and share it over to the Pirates Cove. So a lot of this stuff won't be live. Most of it will, but some of it that's really, really short like this, I'm just going to upload it. And you can still catch it on the Pirates Cove Facebook page. So thank you very much. I just want to come in here and just kind of give an update on what we're doing. And just remember, just stick to the Pirates Cove Facebook and Twitter pages. I'll continue daily to give updates on who we're going to be playing, if there's any records that'll be broken, and definitely we'll be definitely here in the next week or two. We're catching some of the games, and you can catch those games live on our Pirates Cove Facebook page. So I'll let you know what games we'll be going live on. But until next Wednesday, my name is Gabriel Trevino. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday evening, sometime between 6:30 and 7. Have a great night. Rockport-Fulton Pirates Sports, Pirates Cove signing out. We'll see you next Wednesday, man. Have a great night.